What's up, everybody? So, a little fact about me is that I am a massive Green Bay Packers fan. And I was gifted this awesome custom Packers fishing rod for my birthday a couple months ago, and I figured I'd show it to you guys. So, you can see the custom green and yellow designs around the eyes, and you saw the design right above the cork handle before. It's really cool. And the rod was actually built and designed by a buddy of my dad's who has made a couple of rods for us before, but he really outdid himself with this one. It's a medium to heavy action rod, great for casting for stripers, for bluefish, but it's also light enough to take fluke fishing in the summer, which I'm really looking forward to. My favorite part of this rod by far is the Packers logo by the butt of the rod and all the numbers around it that the team has retired throughout the years. You see some big ones. You see number 2 Reggie White, 66 Ray Nitschke, number 4 Brett Favre, some of the all-time greats. And he did add in number 12 there for Aaron Rodgers, which will undoubtedly be retired in the future once he decides to stop making NFL defenses look foolish. The reel I got to pair with this rod is a Daiwa BG 3500 saltwater spinning reel. And I believe the gear ratio on it is 5.7 to 1, if I'm not mistaken. Now, most reels will say on the side of them how much line you should spool on, so that's what these numbers are. And it tells you for both braid and mono, which is really convenient. You just have to attach the arm, which is really simple. It just screws right on. So this is by far the highest quality, most expensive reel I personally have ever got, and I'm really looking forward to using it. You can see that I'm cranking it, and while I am trying to crank backwards every now and again, because all of my current reels were flea market purchases, not the highest quality stuff, and they do have a lot of backspin and a lot of give when you try to reel backwards. So you can see there's literally none there. The Daiwa has no backspin, which is really awesome. I've never experienced that before. Here I am just putting it onto the rod, which is really simple. You just screw it right on, and I'll fast forward through that. So here's an example of what I was talking about earlier. Do you see how much backspin there is on this old reel I had lying around? This is what I'm used to, so the Daiwa is going to be such a nice, pleasant change for me. And here's the line I plan to use. It's Spider Wire Easy Braid 30-pound test I got from Bass Pro Shops. Now, when you plan on using braided line on a spinning reel, it's a really good idea to back it with some monofilament line, so that's what this is for. It's just some 30-pound test mono I had lying around the house somewhere. I cut off maybe 8 feet of that, and then I joined it to the end of the braided spool. I used a double uni knot to join the two different types of line. It's really simple to do. You can find a diagram on how to tie it on Google Images. You can just follow that. It's really simple. Now, I'm not really sure if you can call this a hack. I'm sure most fishermen come up with some way to do this easier, but to make this whole process easier on myself, I just find a screw I have lying around. I put it a little bit into that work table of mine, and that way I can put this spool of braid that I plan to use on that screw, and it'll spin as I reel it onto the reel. It's a lot simpler than having someone hold the reel for you. Here I am threading that mono through the eyes of the rod. It's eventually attached to the braid, obviously, but I'm just threading the mono through the eyes, and then I'm going to attach it to the reel. That way I can just start reeling the line on. It's a pretty simple process. Just remember, because I have done this in the past, you want to go under the bell there. So here I'm just spooling the line on. Like I said, it starts with about 8 feet of mono, and then the braid comes in. You can see that the mono is just about finished there, and it supplies that good backing for the braid. And that contraption I rigged up for the spool is working fine. That's just what I'm showing there. You can see that as I'm reeling the line onto the reel, the spool is spinning on that screw. It just makes it a lot more convenient. Like I showed you guys before, the reel is set for 300 yards of 30-pound test braid, which is what I'm using. You don't want to put too much line on because then that causes it to knot up whenever you cast. I have had that problem before. You see there, I don't want to go any more than that. That looks about good for this reel anymore, and it should start causing problems. So I'm going to leave it at that. Now that there's enough line on that reel, I'm just going to cut it off the spool of line, and I'm going to tie it onto one of the eyes because I don't have the swivel or the leader material that I want to use quite yet. So I'm just going to tie it onto one of the eyes for now, and I'll do the leader and stuff later. So yeah, that's about it. Here I'm just tensioning the drag. It's just hand tight, nothing really official yet. Tightening it a little bit because it did come loose. Nothing too crazy. I'm probably going to do it more precisely once I finally get out in the water and try to use this rod, which I'm really looking forward to. All right, everybody, here's the final product. I really appreciate you guys tuning in, and like and subscribe if you appreciated this video. Thanks, and talk to you guys later.